Hey guys, welcome to 10. Today we're going to be talking about must-see movies, whether it's in theaters or it came out recently or Netflix. So our first movie we're going to be talking about is Mockingjay Part 1, obviously the third, um, I guess what would you call it, part of the
Oh,
trilogy of The Hunger Games. So I saw it a few weeks ago actually. I didn't see it in theaters, but it's obviously it's such a good movie, just like the first two Hunger Games, and but it's very, very different. I don't want to give anything away if you guys haven't seen it, but it's basically about Katniss rebelling against the Capitol. So it's more of that kind of side of the story rather than fighting like it usually is. But it's still really interesting, and it's about her and Peeta, like trying to get Peeta back, and it's just like a whole new twist to the whole story. So did you guys see it?
no. I only saw the first one.
Really?
And yeah, and I just a lot of things, if they don't make sense to me right away, I'm just like I don't get it. Like I don't like it.
Hmm.
Which is so bad. Don't have that attitude about anything, guys. That's
Hmm.
horrible. But like I never understood how they would move on from like the actual Hunger Games after it was like finished, you know? Like why
Yeah.
are you still calling it the Hunger Games? The Hunger Games are over. Like
Hmm.
Did you
unnecessary.
read the books at all?
I got so bored. It was horrible.
Wait, did you read the books?
No, I got so bored with the book.
Oh, you did with the books too. See, I think that's why I like that and like Divergent and all those. I like have to read the books first, and then I think
I
that's why.
liked Divergent though. I read the Divergent books. Like that was cool for me.
Hmm. Yeah, like I never read the Hunger Games books, but I'm not usually into like action movies and like movies like that, but like for some reason the Hunger Games I've always liked, so
I
I'm the
do.
exact same way with that. Like I normally steer clear from action movies.
hmm.
And like even with Hunger Games, I don't know, I'm such a crier. Like this third installment, like there was nothing like too terribly sad, but there was just so much action and like the music
Hmm.
was really intense and I was just bawling just because it was like way too much for me to handle. There were a lot of things like going on with my
I
senses.
know, it was pretty intense.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really good though.
Well,
Hmm.
and Shayla is pretty much the coolest person ever, so that's
Yeah,
why
true.
I love it.
True.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, so our next movie comes from Tyler.
Okay, so my movie is The Fault in Our Stars, and like the main reason why I chose to talk about it was because Paper Towns is coming out soon, and I'm like so
Oh.
excited. I can't even explain to you. And the fact that Cara Delevingne is in it just like up the ante so much more. But I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's about a girl with cancer and a boy who had cancer and lost his leg, and they fall in love, and they go to another country and they do things there and life, and it's really sad. There's not really much of a plot behind it, I would say. It's just like this is what happens, and like it's kind of like making you aware of like other things going on in the world, which I think is cool. But I don't know. It's a tearjerker. I mean, for those of you who are like Cheyenne, so
I
Um,
love it.
I
I
bawled
was
through that
crying
entire
before
movie.
like I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I just bawled through that entire movie. It was really
Oh my
sad.
gosh, I know.
that's the only movie I've ever seen by myself in a theater because I don't like to cry around people. So I had to like make the decision to go to a movie theater by myself and like see it because like
That's
and
great.
that gives me so much anxiety. Like I can't go do things by myself. I've never had a meal by myself unless I'm like in my house. Like I can't go to the cafeteria by myself if I were in school. It's just really bad. But like this time I had to like push myself. I was like, which gives you more anxiety, having people see you cry or going to things alone? So I chose the lesser of two evils.
I know, and I just love Ansel Elgort, so I just love
Yeah,
the movie.
he's
He lives in
everywhere.
I
he
love
lives in New
him.
York, and I like to think that I see him a lot, but like I obviously don't. Like, I just I like to think he's always around.
I love him.
He also is
Yeah.
filming a new movie. A new movie. They him and Chloe Grace Moretz, which I'm so
Yeah, what is that,
Yeah.
November or something?
November. I want to say November Criminals, but I'm not sure if that's right.
Yeah, I think you're right. I saw that on Instagram today. That I
Yeah,
want to know what that one's about.
so excited. I love her.
Yeah.
Mhm. All right, moving on to our next movie, which Krista has.
Okay, so I actually don't go to the movies a lot, but I did go to see this one. I usually just wait till they come out on DVD. But anyways, so I went to this one with my parents, and I couldn't get over that at the end of this movie, the whole entire theater was silent. It was like so weird. So it was American Sniper, and it's basically, without giving too much away, it's a Navy SEAL named Chris Kyle, and it's like an autobiography. Basically, it's based off his life in a book he wrote, and he's got like pinpoint accuracy as a sniper, and he saves like countless lives on the battlefield. But then when he comes home, he like really struggles, and he finds that he can't leave the war behind. But anyways, yeah, as soon as this movie was over, there was like not a dry eye in the theater, and like no one spoke. It was kind of surreal. So I mean, it was a pretty powerful film. So
Yeah,
I think
everyone
people would
who I
enjoy it.
talked to who've seen it has like that's all they talk about was the ending. Like usually there's music,
Yeah.
but it was just complete silence, and it was like super intense.
Yeah, it
Well,
was.
usually people like chat with each other, and no one said anything. I was
Yeah,
like, this
that's
is so
true.
weird.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that first of all, that was one of the best films I've literally ever seen in my whole entire life.
Mhm.
But like on top of that, the silence thing, they didn't have me like you just said, Ashlyn, they didn't have music in the ending credits, which I think added to why it was so
It did.
eerily silent. Like when
Mhm.
I left the movie theater, it was silent too. It was just like,
Yeah,
I mean, that was a heavy movie, you know?
Yeah.
I know. I
You have
need
to
to see
like
it.
process things before you can.
I know, you're like walking out and you're just like, what just happened?
I know, and like the processing for that honestly took about half an hour for me. I couldn't say anything.
Yeah.
I
I
know.
had nothing to say, you know, like
Mhm.
so many thoughts, but I like couldn't verbalize. I don't know. It's an incredible film. Everybody should.
Very powerful.
I saw the commercials, and just like the 2-minute commercial on the TV made me cry. So I haven't like ventured into actually watching the movie, but I saw like something that's been holding me back is like I don't go to the movies often, and I don't like action movies because it's just a lot to handle. But I saw a couple of articles where it said American Sniper had like gone a little bit too over the top with racial slurs, and I don't know. What did you guys think about that? Because I haven't seen it.
I didn't notice that.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Really?
Weird.
That's
I-
like the
I
only
honestly don't remember hearing one racial slur.
Really, that-
Either.
the only like backlash I heard from it was that there was a spot in the movie where there was like a baby that looked fake or
Oh,
like
yeah.
was
Oh, yeah.
obviously fake, and then there
Yeah,
was
yeah.
another part where it was saying like there were a lot of racial slurs, and maybe it wasn't a whole lot if you guys haven't noticed, but that's honestly been a reason where I haven't watched it. But
I
maybe
think I usually am pretty hyper aware of things like that, and I didn't notice one racial slur, but I do know that a lot of people were saying that they didn't like how far they went in terms of the representation of the people in Iraq. Like they didn't like how close things got, like how close certain shooting things got, or like how certain scenes were actually played out. Like they felt like some things didn't actually need to be shown. I personally think that it was really brave of them to show those things, because like if they hadn't, it just would have been like every other war movie. It wouldn't have showed you what actually happens out there, you know.
Mhm.
But I don't remember any racial slurs.
wow.
Me.
Huh.
Okay, guys, our last movie comes from Cheyenne.
Okay, so like I said before, I don't make it to the movies quite often. So I'm talking about Misrepresentation, which is a 2011 documentary. So it's a couple years old. You can find it on Netflix right now. It's been up for probably over a year, so I don't know if they're taking it down soon or not. But Misrepresentation is about a woman who is kind of she does a voiceover. She's the writer, director, and producer of the film, and she has this backstory about how she's pregnant and she's worried about bringing a girl into our society because it's hard for girls growing up. And then you just go through the whole thing and see how the media portrays women and sets this unacceptable standard of beauty and how you should be more focused on beauty instead of brains. And I thought that was really poignant because you do see that in the media a lot. and then it just goes through and talks about all these unsettling facts and has a lot of celebrity interviews, and it's fantastic. So I'm not sure if you guys have seen it, but it should definitely be on your to watch list.
It's been on my watch list for about 2 years now.
I'm gonna have to
want to watch it.
I've never heard of
it. It's
Yeah,
so good.
I don't think enough people watch documentaries, especially like, I mean, depending on what they are, but that sounds like a really, really good one. So if it's free on Netflix, then I definitely need to watch it.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of people don't go to Netflix for documentaries. They just want to watch a TV show or a funny movie or some weird independent film, you know? They never really make it to go kind of learn, and it was a huge learning experience for me, and all of the facts they were stating were so bizarre. And then you would see like video footage of men reporters, like Hillary Clinton would come up and have like a really great political agenda that she was going to talk about. And regardless of your politics, you should acknowledge like she has a brain, she went to school, like whatever, but they would sit there and like comment on her appearance and like never get to her politics. And then that's kind of how it is all the time. Like women, their beauty comes before what they have to say. And oh my gosh, like I'm getting worked up again, and it makes me so angry. Like it's just.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a really good documentary. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to watch it now. It's probably what I'm going to do after.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't go off soon. You said it's been on for like a year almost.
Yeah, I watched it a year ago, and then to write an article for another website, I watched it again. So I don't know if they're going to take it down anytime soon, but it's only an hour and a half, so, and it flies by. It's not one of those movies where like you check your watch every 10 minutes. You're like totally engrossed. You definitely have to take it off your watch list and actually get to it, because
I promise.
It's so worth it.
Just like in general, I don't think Netflix really takes down their documentaries very often.
Oh really? That's good to know.
Yeah. So
I always get like emails from them saying like, "Hurry up, this is going soon," and so I'm like,
yeah, for all the stuff on my watch list, I keep talking about my watch list. Like, can we just talk about that for 1 second? This has nothing to do with like movies that you need to see, but they need to take off the watch list or like limit you to 15 movies on there, because I have over 200 and I will never watch them all.
I have like 5.
I'm very upset about it.
Oh my gosh. I know.
That gives me a lot of anxiety. Like seeing more than like 3 emails in my inbox drive me nuts. So like,
but like email things and shut them off. Like I'm so bad. I can't do them.
Oh my gosh. Get to watching.
Yeah, you got a lot to watch.
All right, guys, that's it for this episode of Must See Movies. So make sure you comment and subscribe, and we will see you next time. And follow us on Twitter at 10byIam. Bye, guys.